country code, +61 international call prefix, 0011 trunk prefix, 0. The Australian telephone numbering plan describes the allocation of phone numbers in Australia. It has changed many times, the most recent major reorganisation by the Australian Communications Authority taking place between 1994 and 1998. Overview: Australia is divided geographically into 4 large area codes, most of which cover more than one state and/or territory. The standard telephone number in Australia has 10 digits, of which the first is 0. The first digits specify the type of service. The following list is a high level of numbering plan presented in domestic format. Geographical region boundaries do not exactly follow state borders. 00 Emergency and International Access, 01 Alternative Phone Services, 02 Geographic, Central East Region, 03 Geographic, Southeast Region, 04 Digital Mobile Services, 05 Location Independent Communication Services, 07 Geographic, Northeast Region, 08 Geographic, Central and West Region, 1 Non-Geographic numbers. Internationally the first 0 is replaced by the +61 country code. Some numbers beginning with a 1 may be dialed without any replacement. There has been careful planning to avoid clashing with O1X numbers in this case. End-user numbers are 10 digits long, conventionally written in the former XXXXAXXXXX for geographic and 04XXAXXXAXXX for mobile numbers. If the number is written where it may be viewed by an international audience, then the number is often written as +61 as AXXXXAXXXXX or +61A4XXAXXXAXXX respectively. Geographic numbers. Fixed-line telephone numbers in Australia consist of the area code, and an 8-digit local number. Strictly, the initial 0 is not part of the area code. It is actually the trunk access code for domestic users. The area codes do not exactly match state boundaries. Notable are the part of New South Wales around Broken Hill, which uses 80XX numbers, and Adawinga, which is in Victoria but is within the New South Wales area code. The first 4, 5 or 6 local digits generally specify the CCA, and the remaining digits align at that exchange. Virtually all exchanges have more than one prefix. Prefixes were added as demand grew. Landlines use an open dialing plan. If the caller's phone shares the same area code as the receiver, the area code may be omitted. For example, a call from the number of 5551A5678 to the number A7010A1111 will get through if the caller only dials 7010A1111. Similarly, a person who dials 7010A5678 on a landline or mobile phone in Melbourne will be connected to 03A7010A5678. For this reason, landline numbers are often given out without the area code. If a person's number and the destination number share the same area code, then the area code is not required, even if it is not a local call. Mobile phones. Mobile phone numbers begin with 04, followed by 8 digits, for example 04XXXX. The Y-digit codes are allocated per network, although with the introduction of number portability, there is no longer a fixed relationship between the mobile phone number and the network it uses. New numbers are still allocated to phone companies in blocks, so a new number will generally still be on its home network. Within Australia, mobile numbers must always be dialed with all 10 digits, no matter where they are being called from. 04 is a prefix, not an area code, as such. Geographic numbers. Geographical areas are identified by the first few digits of the local number. Number prefixes used in state capital cities. Non-geographic numbers. Mobile phone numbers. Each mobile phone company is allocated numbers in blocks, which are listed below. However, mobile number portability means an individual number might have been ported. There are also many MVNOs which use numbers from their wholesaler or might have their own ranges. A search function is also available on the ACMA website. ACMA plans to introduce the 05 range for mobile numbers in 2017, when the 04 range is expected to be exhausted. Satellite phone numbers. Numbers beginning with 014 are predominantly used for satellite services. Parts of the 014 prefix had been used as a 9-digit, AMPS mobile phone access code. While these parts are still reserved for analog mobile phone services, there are none allocated for this purpose. The 01471 prefix is the 10-digit replacement for the previous, 9-digit Atera satellite phone code 0071XXXXX. Prior to its use for Atera, these numbers were allocated in March 1999. 0145XXXXXX numbers are used for services utilized on the Optus network in Australia. This is predominantly used for Mobile-Sat and Thuraya mobile satellite services. These numbers were allocated in December 1992, 220,000 with the rest spare. The prefixes 0141, 0142, 0143, 0145 and 0147 are set aside for satellite systems presumably the entire 014 prefix will eventually be made available. However, there is not a lot of demand for these services, and many satellite phones now have normal mobile phone numbers. Location-independent communications service, these numbers are designed for VoIP systems, where they work like a fixed number but not allocated on a geographical level. It is possible that LICS numbers will be absorbed into mobile numbers in the future, as they provide similar features. Indeed, the July 2012 variation of the numbering plan allocated the rest of the 05 range to digital mobile numbering. Data numbers, all calls to 0198 numbers are a local call cost like 13 and 1300 numbers but are used for Internet Service Provider access numbers. They are used both with dial-up modems and ISDN. For example 0198379000 is the dial-up POP number for ENET. Obsolete numbers, some numbers are still in the plan that are no longer used. The 016 prefix is used for pagers. As of March 2011 only 1,000 numbers were allocated, and by the end of 2012 there were none allocated. The 015 and 018 prefixes were used for analog mobile phones. As of March 2011 only 3 numbers are allocated. These numbers were migrated into the 04 range in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Non-geographic numbers, the following codes are not generally dialable from international points, but used in domestic dialing: 000 a emergency, 106 a TTY emergency, 11 a community service, 1100 a dial before you dig, 112 a emergency, 114XXXXX a mass calling service, 119X a community service. 12 a network services, 122X a operator services, 1225 a international directory assistance, 123X a operator services, 124XX a operator services, 125XXX a Telstra mobile services, 1268X, 1268XXXX and 1268XXXXXX a internal network services, 127 a testing numbers, 1282 a call information service, 128XX a call information service. 13XXXX and 1300XXXXXX a local rate calls, 1345XXXX a local rate calls, 15 a internal network testing, 180XXXX and 1800XXXXXX a free call, 188XXXX a premium SMS, 19XXXX and 19XXXXXX a premium SMS, 190XXXXXX a premium rate services. Some notes: these numbers do not have a trunk prefix. The 106 number is believed to be the first nationwide TTY emergency service in the world. 13XXXX, 1300XXXXXX and 1800XXXXXX numbers can provide source-based routing, used by organizations such as pizza chains that advertise one number nationwide that connects customers to their nearest store. Virtually all free call numbers in use are 1800XXXXXX, though some organizations do use the shorter 7-digit version. Some of these numbers are dialable from overseas. It is up to the individual owner to set this up correctly. The current numbering plan would appear to be sufficient to cope with potential increase in demand for services for quite some time to come. The 06 and 09 area codes are completely unused, plus each current area code has large spaces unallocated. Emergency services numbers: 000 is the primary emergency telephone number in Australia. Secondary emergency numbers are 106 and the international GSM mobile emergency telephone number 112. Increased awareness of the 112 emergency number in Australia has led to the potential for confusion over which number to call in an emergency. As a secondary emergency number, 112 is not guaranteed to work from all technologies. Most notably, it does not work from landlines. In order to encourage use of 000, mobile telephones imported commercially into Australia are required to be programmed to treat 000 in the same fashion as 112. On older or privately imported telephones, 000 may not receive such preferential treatment. A proposed amendment to the Telecommunications Act 1999 would prevent carriers from providing emergency services access to SIM-less devices, that is mobile telephones that do not have a SIM installed. Local rate and free call numbers: Australia uses the free call prefix 1800 for 10-digit free call numbers. This is copied from the North American or NANPA prefix 1 euro 800, but while in North America, the 1 is the long distance or toll prefix and 800 is the area code. 1800 in Australia is itself a virtual area code. There are also 7-digit free call numbers beginning with 180 euro. The only numbers currently allocated begin with 1802. The 13 and 1300 numbers are known as local rate numbers or smart numbers. They are also known as priority 13, and priority 1300 numbers. These work across large areas and only charge the caller a low cost, routing the call to the appropriate place in a given area. For example, a company could have the number 139,999 and have the telephone company set it up so that calls made in Melbourne would route to their Melbourne number, calls made in Brisbane to their Brisbane number, and calls made anywhere else in Australia route to their Sydney number, all at a local charge cost to the caller. 13 numbers were not available before the introduction of the new numbering plan. Businesses looking for local callers tend to connect to 1300. Note that these numbers are called local rate, and not local numbers, so do not necessarily cost the same as a local call. Indeed, many phone plans do not even include them in the included credit and/or charge them at a higher rate than normal numbers. 1800, 1300 and 13 numbers are reverse charge networks. There is no real difference between a 13 number and a 1300 number other than the length of the number, though the shorter number has a higher fee for the owner of the number. The difference between a 13 number and an 1800 number is that a 13 number attracts a local call connect fee when dialed from a landline. A call to an 1800 is free when dialed from a landline. Note that higher fees usually apply when either type of number is dialed from a mobile phone. These numbers forward to a geographic or mobile number. When a 13 number is called by a user in the same local call area, there is usually no cost to the recipient for the first 20 minutes. The recipient is usually charged at a set rate per second for each call, depending on plan and destination. Premium numbers: 190X is the prefix for premium rate services. 190 numbers incur a rate as charged by the provider €1, either at a per minute rate or a fixed rate. The latter method is most often used for faxback services, where a time charge is not appropriate. Costs of 190 calls for competitions involving chance are also often limited by state legislation to 55 cents per call. Other numbers beginning with 19 are used for premium rate SMS services. These were originally trialed using the 188 prefix. These can range from a standard SMS cost, up to 55c for competition use, to several dollars for other uses, such as unique bid auctions. International access: default, the main international prefix is 0011. Others: there are other codes for using a non-default carrier or a special plan, 0014 will route through the Primus network, 0015 will use the Telstra network on a special mode for international faxing. 0016 will use the Telstra network, 0019 will use the Optus network. Other 4 and 5-digit prefixes beginning with 001 are available but have not been allocated. However, carrier selection codes are now also used, and carrier preselection is widely used. Override prefixes, provider override codes. These 4-digit numbers are dialed before the destination number to complete and bill a call by a carrier other than the subscriber's service provider. For example, to use AAPT to call a number in Tokyo, Japan, subscribers would dial 1414-00118013XXXXXXXXX, or to use Optus to call a Perth they would dial 145608XXXXXXXXX. 1411 a Euro Telstra, 1414 a Euro AAPT, 1434 a Euro GoTalk, 1441 a Euro Vodafone, 1447 a Euro Corporate Holdings, 1456 a Euro Optus, 1466 a Euro Primus, 1474 a Euro Powirtel, 1477 a Euro Vocus Communications, 1488 a Euro Axicorp. Supplementary control service works from both landline and mobile. 1831 a Euro block caller ID sending, 1832 a Euro unblock caller ID sending, caller identification control, mobile only, number 31 block caller ID sending, 31 unblock caller ID sending. Unlike the feature codes below, these caller ID prefixes work with almost carriers. Other numbers and codes. Feature codes are Euro Telstra. These codes are only true for Telstra infrastructure-based landline phones. Call waiting, number 43 a Euro check call waiting status, 43 a Euro enable call waiting, number 43 a Euro disable call waiting, 44 a Euro dial before a number to disable call waiting for the call duration. Call forward a Euro immediate, number 21 a Euro check call forward immediate status, 21. Forward number a Euro enable call forward immediate on all incoming calls, number 21 a Euro disable call forward immediate. Call forward a Euro busy, number 24 a Euro check call forward busy status, 24. Forward number a Euro enable call forward when line is busy for incoming calls, number 24 a Euro disable call forward busy. Last call return, 10 a Euro check last missed call, 0 a Euro redial last number. Call control, 30, old pin, new pin a Euro setup change current call control pin, number 33 a Euro check call control status, 33, pin a Euro enable call control online, number 33, pin a Euro disable call control online. Test numbers, Telstra landline test numbers, 12,722,123 a Euro playback the last connected or current landline number, 12,722,199 a Euro ring back the current landline number. Optus landline test numbers, 1,272,312 a Euro playback the last connected or current landline number, 1,272,399 a Euro ring back the current landline number. From other subscribers including VoIP providers, 1,800,801,920 a Euro playback the last connected or current landline number. Other, 12,711 a Euro current long-distance carrier name. Historic numbering plans. 0055 numbers were previously premium rate numbers, but have been moved into 190 numbers before 1999. They are still referenced by many Australians. Directory assistance was split into various numbers, 013 for local calls, 0175 for other national calls, and 0103 for international. The two domestic numbers have been replaced with 1223, while 0103 has been replaced with 1225. Other numbers for directory assistance, often with a call connection option, exist depending on the carrier. 014 was originally the number for the time which was changed to 1194 in 1976. 0176 was previously the reverse charge call operator, which has been moved to 12,550 or third-party companies such as 1800 Reverse. Until the early 1960s, the first one or two digits of telephone numbers in metropolitan areas were alphabetical, with each letter representing a distinct number on the telephone dial. Each one-letter or two-letter code signified an exchange within an urban area. Rural and regional areas typically relied on manual exchanges, or only one automatic exchange for the whole town, so rural and regional numbers did not feature these letter prefixes. This alphanumeric scheme was significantly different from the current system used for SMS messages. The former alphanumeric scheme was A equals 1, B equals 2, F equals 3, J equals 4, L equals 5, M equals 6, U equals 7, W equals 8, X equals 9, Y equals 0. The letters did not relate to the exchange name. Although Melbourne city numbers began with 6, it was only rarely, and probably by accident, that any other exchanges had matching letters. The old callback number was 199, and could be used on public payphones, and private numbers too. This has been moved to a new number 12,722,199. See also, former Australian dialling codes, references. ITU allocations list, external links, list of telephone exchanges, Excel file of exchange prefixes via Telstra wholesale site, Telecommunications Numbering Plan 1997, all areas by prefix, Australia dialling codes.